Hello students, welcome back to our third lesson. How has everything been doing since last week? Did you know how to compose your answers about the first speaking task, free choice independent speaking task, after learning lesson number 2? Have you practiced the given speaking questions and uploaded your voice to the application? If you have any questions, please send us a message. We will reply within 24 hours, and we can also have video conference to discuss your questions or suggestions. This week, we're going to learn the second speaking task, the paired choice independent speaking task. I will introduce the task first and then describe the different question types and relevant skills. Finally, I will give you some examples and tips to help you better understand the task. Similar to the first independent speaking task, the responses will be provided separately for your reference. Again, you should always use your own experience during the preparation and the test. Comparing with the independent speaking task number 1, in this task, you aren't just talking about a personal experience. You're given 2 or more points of view, and you need to choose one to support your personal beliefs about a phenomenon. Preparing an answer first, that's easy to argue or defend. The purpose of the independent speaking task 2 is to test your ability to demonstrate your habits and attitudes for a phenomenon. Generally speaking, there are 2 different question types in the second independent speaking task, including a prefer either A or B, and agree or disagree. Regardless of the types, you have 15 seconds to prepare your answer and 45 seconds to speak. The first kind of question is to ask which one you prefer. You need to choose and state one thing you prefer to do first and then give your explanation. The second type of paired choice independent question is to ask for your opinion, whether you're for or against the given topic. You need to state your opinion and explain why. After learning the 2 types of the paired choice independent speaking question, the most important thing is how to use the 45 seconds reasonably. So what should we do to prepare in our daily practice is very, very important. In this lesson, we will provide 3 basic skills for TOEFL speaking, which will help you to respond and get a score anywhere between 22 and 25 points. However, if you want to get a higher mark, let's say between 26 and 28 points, you really should spend more time practicing and gaining more skills such as logic, critical thinking, pronunciation, etc., which will be covered in our later lessons. First, you need to organize your answer. This shows the simplest template that you can follow to organize your answer. You're encouraged to change the wording or sentences to enrich your structure. A clear and simple structure usually includes a topic statement, supporting information, and a conclusion. The supporting body includes your reasons and evidence. You can either provide 2 reasons and 2 pieces of evidence that correspond to each of the reasons, or provide 1 reason and then 2 related pieces of evidence. Due to the time constraints, you're not encouraged to place more than 2 reasons because that will probably lead to 1 or 2 reasons without evidence, or what I call an incomplete response. You need these transition words to connect one reason to another so that your expression can flow smoothly. Therefore, you can also draw the examiner's attention so that the second point is also highlighted. Beside the one we mentioned earlier, it can also be applied to the following. Which form of class do you prefer, lectures or group discussions? Which do you prefer, studying alone or studying in a group? Technology-related questions are, which do you prefer when you stay at home, reading a book or playing video games? Should parents limit their children from playing with tablets? Should using cell phones be banned in some places? Newspaper, TV, and teachers, which one influences you the most? Which one is more suitable for research, internet or books? And the higher education topic can also be applied to these types of questions. Is higher education important to all? Does attending higher education help people succeed? Should the tuition in higher education be free to students? Should higher education be open to everyone? We will give you more topics for your practice as this week's assignments. Now let's see some sample questions and tips. Sample question 1, living alone and living with roommates. Which do you prefer? Here are some tips. If you prefer to live alone, you can talk about the freedom that you're going to have. Nobody will mess with you. You can do whatever you want. It's also good practice for your independent abilities. If you choose to live with roommates, there's also some benefits. For example, you can have fun with friends, you can share the rent with others, and you can even save money. Finally, it's safer to live with your roommates than if you're living alone. Here is sample question number 2. You can either go straight to the destination or you can enjoy the scenery along the way. Which do you prefer and why? Now, if you choose to go straight to the destination, you could say in this way: I can save time to view more sights as I'm going to my destination, and it is my style to go straight since my life is fast-paced. Now, if you prefer to enjoy the scenery along the way, you could state something like this: on the one hand, I'd like to slow down my pace and enjoy the beautiful side of nature. On the other hand, it's a better way to relax than hurrying to my destination. By the way, it also allows me to have more time to take photos. Sample question number 3. So art and literature are not very important. Do you agree? And of course, you're giving some examples and reasons to support your point of view. If you agree that art and literature are not as important as science and math, you can answer under this logic that science stands for technology. Technology, of course, means development. So STEM is more important. In addition, not everyone is good at literature and art. On the other hand, if you disagree with the given opinion, you can say, well, art is everywhere in our life, such as music, life, and so on. And again, not everyone is good at science and math. Well, that's it for today's topic. And please finish the assignments after class and see you in lesson number 4.